starts now.
Well, good morning, everybody, and thank you so much for joining us here on First Alert 6 streaming this Tuesday morning. I'm Cerise Cole.
And I'm Erin Hartley, joined by meteorologist Jarrett Lands and Senior Chief Meteorologist Rusty Lord. We just got very fortunate yesterday. We were talking about everybody was out, short sleeves and shorts, just soaking up in that sunshine and the nice temperatures. The good news is, similar to yesterday, not quite as warm.
We're not going to be quite as spoiled, but still, I mean, we would take this any other day in February.
A little spoiled.
A little
spoiled.
Jared and I were putting together the forecast yesterday. Yesterday exceeded even the high end of models where we were going by about 2 or 3 degrees. It was incredible. Got to 75 yesterday, crushed the record high by 12 degrees. Now we're down to 32, which isn't all that odd, but you're going to want the heavy coat and the warm hat just a little longer into the day today, as we're starting off chilly, and there's wind chills to consider as well. These are down in the 20s right now, so the air's got a bite. Some of these numbers are, the air feels 50 degrees colder outside this morning than what we dealt with yesterday afternoon. And you look to the east, which we're doing with this camera right here. There's sun on the right, clouds on the left, and with that, we have basically a 50-50 split across much of the area. The north half has clouds, the south half has sun, and these clouds are just kind of streaming along the same path here. So what we will see is gradually over the course of the day, these will kind of thin out. There's not really any precipitation with them. There's clouds down to the south and some showers there, but those aren't going to impact us. And First Alert forecast shows how these kind of course on through, and you can see by 9 o'clock we're mid-30s. By noon we're up to about 43 degrees. And then into the afternoon we get a lot of 40s, and there's the clearing. So the clouds will fade away and the wind will back off over the course of the day. Nothing all that strong right now. Could have some gusts up to 25, maybe 30 miles per hour here this morning. And then those will get a lot weaker into the afternoon. Tonight, temperatures by 5 falling off into the mid-40s. We'll fall off through the 30s. And then eventually into the 20s as we head towards tomorrow morning. So a colder feel yet by tomorrow morning with actual air temperatures in the 20s, and the wind chills could be a little bit lighter or a little bit lower than that, even though the wind will be pretty light. So with that colder start, we still make it up to 52, which is about 15 degrees above average. Again, it seems chilly compared to where we've been, but this is great for February, and we'll keep it going into Thursday as well with a small chance of a couple spotty morning showers on Thursday. The clouds will increase Wednesday, and we'll have quite a few of those on Thursday, but that right there, aside from the 75 yesterday, that is a great stretch of February weather as well.
Really
and
is.
There's a lot of that to come.
We've also been really dry, so any chances of rain or...
Sorry, you just really aggressively nodded.
Too dry.
I could tell.
The temperatures don't look like snow, so any chances of rain anytime soon?
I was looking back. Aside from one day in January where we had almost an inch of rain, there has been very little, if any, precipitation. And people are wondering, some people are watering their yards. It's that mild and that dry. Well, the next system to watch, we talked about this yesterday, is heading into Saturday. The Thursday round of rain not going to do much of anything for us. Saturday could bring a good soaker across the south, but that one just that, to the south. And we've trended a little bit warmer for our weekend as that passes that way. I think we're waiting until the end of next week. There's Thursday. This system now starting to show a little consistency on models that could be moving through the tail end of next week. It'll be a Thursday or a Friday of next week with some rain, maybe a little snow on the backside here. Most models keep that to the north as of right now, but that's what we'll be watching. So there's a lot of patience involved with the forecast. If you're wanting rain, if you're wanting mild temperatures, how about this? 55 Friday, 56 on Saturday, near 60 on Sunday. We could be doing this all over again to the point where these 60s that we have in the forecast by early next week could trend into maybe another day of 70s. We'll see how it goes, but a lot of mild weather. One aspect we haven't talked about, ice jams. We've had some of those in central Nebraska, the Platte River, the Elkhorn. They're really shallow, they're really low. Some of those break up, and we'll have to watch that again this week probably too, with more melting on the way.
All right. Can you top that?
No.
Okay. They might as well
You
just...
still got more time to talk here, so.
Hopefully the roads are going to be decent this morning.
I have some good news.
Okay.
Because so far we haven't had too many issues. So that's something I can tell you. A couple spots where we've had some off and on delays. We likely will have a little bit more people on the roads this morning than what we had yesterday. And this is what it looks like on 144th near I-80. As you look at the distance, you're seeing a fair amount of lights at this point, not seeing that really jamming up too much at this point. But as you look back toward Harrison, a little bit slow here in the early going. We've also got a little bit of some delays showing up near Giles, 132nd and Harrison, this general area. Another spot that yesterday morning we even had some minor delays. So not entirely surprising to see that. We've off and on had some delays that have been showing up in either direction on 370 near I-80, and westbound is where you've got that as the case at this point. And then the JFK right around I-80. All of these are spots where we do tend to get some slowing from time to time during the morning. JFK actually looking a lot better right now than it did, say, about 20 minutes ago, but that's something that could flare up again as the morning continues on. So keep an eye out for some of these kind of spots that are slowing down. A little minor delay that's showing up around 72nd and Maple, nothing too big there. A lot of our main roads are looking really good. So hopefully we can hold on to that. Yesterday we carried that through the entire commute. We'll see if we can repeat that as we go through our Tuesday morning commute. Now we do have a couple more areas of construction that are in place. We'll walk through some of those, or I'll just tell you about them here in just a little bit and tell you what impacts you can expect as you drive through those.
Yeah, we always need those reminders.
Jared, thank you. Turning back to news now happening today, Governor Jim Pillen plans to bring Turning Point USA to every high school in the state. Turning Point USA was founded by conservative activist Charlie Kirk. He was killed while speaking at a college campus last year. The organization says that Pillen plans to announce a partnership to launch clubs in the state. Similar plans have already been adopted in states like Montana, Tennessee, Oklahoma, Florida, and Texas. Happening today, the Omaha City Council will discuss a resolution to spend $50,000 for a headhunter to find a new parks director.
That's right. Omaha's been without one for 7 months now. The mayor's office tells us the city plans to use the Potrero Group to do a national search. We spoke with a neighborhood leader, and they say they have concerns about the process, especially if the new director ends up not being from the area.
We'd like to see some transparency in the process, for one. Who the candidates are, why they're being picked, what are their qualifications. But since it affects so many parts of the city, shouldn't all of us kind of know what's going on?
So many of the city's plans are related to projects introduced in the Parks Department's master plan that was announced last summer. The mayor's office says the focus will be on a few of the major capital projects. Those projects include opening the Levi Carter Park Recreation Facility and plan renovations at the Tranquility Park Soccer Complex. Well, a Nebraska nonprofit is trying to stop the release of statewide voter data to the Justice Department.
Now, the DOJ issued a ruling to allow the state to release the voter data. Common Cause plans to appeal this ruling, stating they will, quote, exhaust every option to protect voters, end quote. Last September, the DOJ sent a letter to Secretary of State Bob Evans' office asking for information on voters. That includes addresses and driver's license numbers. Common Cause filed a suit in an attempt to stop that request, barring any court orders. Evans plans to send the data to the DOJ this Thursday. Still to come, Metro Transit looking to change some bus routes, and your input is crucial.
Yeah, how you can make your voice heard when we come back.
Welcome back on this Tuesday morning. Take it a live look outside, overlooking Midtown Crossing and the downtown area. The time now 7:13. Really just a great stretch in store for us. I don't know what we did to deserve this, but hey, we'll take it. Going to be not quite as warm as yesterday, but still pretty fair.
Average high this time of year, 37 to 38 here for the rest of the week. So just a little perspective as I show you all these numbers, because we are trending towards another great stretch here. Breezy and much cooler than yesterday. We'll be 25 degrees to 30 degrees cooler than yesterday, but still, when you get to 75, that's pretty good for February. Rest of the week, got mild weather, above average highs going to continue, and then mostly dry as well. Very few chances of any moisture. Probably got to wait a little while to get any significant rain still. Feels like temperatures, they're in the 20s. You got the chill as you step out here this morning, so those numbers are cold. And you look to the east, you got clouds on the left half, sun on the right half, and we're just kind of right on the dividing line, the south edge of this batch of clouds that's out there right now. And well, a little bit of a breeze that's trying to show up. Sustained winds at about 5 to 15. Some gusts may try to pick up here over the course of the morning. We're not getting anything all that widespread, but I wouldn't be surprised if they sneak up near 25, maybe 30. This model's been a little bit too strong so far during the overnight, but I'll show it to you, just kind of a worst case scenario. And then into the afternoon, those will subside quite a bit. They'll decrease pretty consistently. So if you didn't get the car wash yesterday, want to do that, you got a pretty good week, frankly, to get it done. It's a go for it and keep it clean. 48 for the afternoon high today. And you can see how we get there. 30s this morning, 40s this afternoon. We will tail off quite a bit into the morning hours tomorrow, down in the 20s as we start off. There's a small chance of rain heading into Thursday morning. Show you that here with the clouds that are increasing overnight, Wednesday night, and could have a couple little showers pop up in our northeastern counties here, and they'll move off towards the east and out. So it's something to watch for the morning hours. I think overall we're looking at a pretty mild stretch of weather through Thursday. And if you're wanting any rain, you're not going to get much out of that little system on Thursday. The Saturday one's going to go to the south. We ran you all the way through Wednesday of next week with the moisture potential on this model. Again, I say moisture potential. Some could be rain, some could be snow. This is just kind of total of moisture falling from the sky in liquid form. It's end of next week, Thursday, maybe even into Friday, where we tack on some rain, starting to see a little bit of a pattern change by the end of next week. So until then, 48 degrees for the high today, all the way up to 56 for the high on Valentine's Day. With any rain on Valentine's Day, we're worried about that's trending down to the south. Oklahoma, Arkansas, Texas, probably dealing with that. Well, we just kind of slowly tick up with Thursday and Saturday being the day with the most clouds.
I'm telling you, this looks like a wonderful stretch. We're wondering, how long can we keep this up? I mean, how far do these mild temperatures go?
For a while. We could even reset it and try to threaten 70 degrees again early next week. What if I told you this 48 is the coolest temperature we have in the 10-day forecast? That's wild for this time of the year. Jarrett and I were looking at the numbers. Probably after today, we'll be top 10 warmest starts to February on record, with nothing really getting in the way of that, us climbing up the charts here. 65 for the high on Tuesday. Watch for Monday or Tuesday to try to trend higher up, maybe even threatening 70 degrees once again early next week. So
Threatening.
if you didn't play hooky yesterday,
Uh-oh.
you got more opportunities to come down with some random illness that you
Hooky
made up
alert, hooky
early
alert.
next week.
Rusty.
I'm just
Taking
saying.
notes, taking notes.
I know you. That's all we got.
Okay, all right. I was going to update on traffic this morning. Jared's talking about a couple areas across the metro.
Yeah, you like the quad box?
I do, because I like to see everything that's going on.
Let's look at it.
Okay.
All right, let's look at the quad box. Check out some different areas of the metro. Top left, you're looking at Midtown. Farnham looking pretty good, aside from all the construction on there, of course. Top right, you are looking at Dodge. This is as you're right around 72nd, starting to pick up a little bit, but moving along in decent shape there. 144th and West Dodge, starting to get our signs of delays that we do start to get at this point in the morning. So 156, 168th, be ready for it to be slow as you get into that area. This is kind of the precursor to that. And then 680 looking pretty good right now around 4. If you're trying to get into this area, you do have some good construction to navigate around as you get toward there. Be ready for possible delays right around 103rd. That's just to the west of the interstate. we have varying lane restrictions that are going to be in place for the next 5 weeks. So as you go through that stretch, it may look a little different than what it was last time you went through there, and there could be some delays. So be ready for that over the next several weeks. Some other things I'm watching, 20th Street southbound between Mason and Pierce, it's a little south of Leavenworth. You've got some lane restrictions over the next 2 weeks. And speaking of southbound impact, 78th is closed between Leavenworth and Pacific, short stretch, but that for the next week will not be an option for you. Northbound will be open. So I mentioned Dodge, where we're starting to get a couple of those delays. Watch for that early on this morning. We've got a couple of delays still standing out, 72nd and Maple, and then over toward Benson. Mostly doing pretty good, though. We don't have too many big problems that have come up. No reports of any crashes just yet. We'll hope that holds as we go through the rest of the morning, but if it changes, of course, we'll be sure to first alert you.
All right, Jared, thank you very much. Back to more news now. Happening today, Metro Transit will begin holding a series of public meetings.
That's right. Officials will present proposed service changes to certain routes. There will be 7 meetings in all. 2 virtual meetings are set for today and tomorrow. There will be 5 in-person meetings next week. For a full list of dates and times, you can go to our website. It's all on firstalert6.com. Well, Nebraskans for Medical Marijuana plan to participate in a series of town halls across the state. The dates and cities for those town halls are right there on your screen. Officials say they will provide information on how ongoing legislative and regulatory decisions may affect access. The town halls begin in Scottsbluff. That's tomorrow. The last town hall will be held in Lincoln next Monday. Well, still ahead, one Alaskan crafter's blanket is a window into 2025.
Yeah, see the stunning creation coming up. New this morning, apparently a blanket isn't always just a blanket.
Well, there's a woman in Alaska who wove a blanket that tells a story of weather that hit her state last year. So Selena Ellsworth became inspired to crochet her own temperature blanket for the entire year of 2025. The creator can decide, excuse me, what colors are assigned to the different temperature ranges as well as its pattern. On this blanket, warmer colors dominate the fabric. Work on this year's blanket is now underway. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, that is neat how they just kind of create the variation. You can see every different day.
I've seen this happen before, and it's really cool what kind of patterns you can get just based off of what the weather is. Maybe a little bit biased, but it's some pretty cool stuff.
We know what to get you guys for Christmas.
You have to have a lot of colors here, though. You can go from 100 to 30 below if you want to.
That's true. Well, our First Alert 6 team wants to send out a big congratulations to longtime anchor John Nicely.
The Nebraska Broadcasters Association announced that John will be among 4 broadcasters to be inducted into this year's Hall of Fame Fame class. It was just last March when he announced that he would be retiring from our station after an incredible 50 years in the biz. He'll be inducted into the Hall of Fame August 11th. Once again, big congratulations. A lot of us just saw him on Sunday, at his annual fundraiser. He looks good. He's feeling good. You can tell retirement's treating him well.
It sure is.
Yeah.
It's good of that man to finally make something of him.
Yeah, he's really
Just kind of been just been bumming around for 50 years. Got into the Hall of Fame.
He's in good company too. Ken Shimmick from Lincoln, who was at 1011 for 44 years. Steve Lundy with Cat 103. He's been around forever, a radio legend.
As far as I've known Omaha radio, Steve Lundy's been doing that.
Yeah, and Kevin Kugler. For all the sports enthusiasts love him. So that's a great class.
Yeah, I was going to say there's a lot of names on that.
Not easy to get into that.
That was wild.
Oh, we're so proud of Nicely. All right, everybody, that is going to do it for us. We're going to get ready for our update in today's show. You can watch it here on streaming or over the air.
Have a great start to your Tuesday.
Live from WOWT, First Alert 6 starts now.
Good morning, everybody. It is 7:26. I'm Cerise Cole.
And I'm Erin Hartley. A first alert to some slow spots on Dodge. Here to fill us in now, Jared Lansford.
Here we go. As you're going eastbound right around 156. This is not uncommon for us to have some delays around this area, but look at how much things are now starting to back up as you're getting into this stretch. So be ready for some pretty slow go of it. If you're heading from Elkhorn toward downtown, there's some of the delays that you're seeing, and as you continue back here, you can see those extend all the way back toward about 180th at this point. So that's easily our worst spot right now on the commute. You zoom things out, and you've got a couple of other spots that are a little slow, including the JFK approaching I-80. Rusty.
Thanks, Jared. To look into the east, we've had some clouds. We've been on the south edge of a batch of clouds here over the course of the morning. Get a little more sunshine south, more clouds to the north. 32 degrees, feels like 24. So it's colder out there. That 24, about 50 degrees colder than it felt yesterday afternoon when we were up to 75. And now we have 30s out the door. Those 30s feel like 20s, a little bit of a north breeze, 5 to 15 miles per hour. We've had it all night, bringing in the cooler air. Could still have a couple of gusts up into the 20s this morning, and so far this model's been a little bit too strong with the wind, so it means we'll probably drop off even more into the afternoon. First alert forecast takes us to 43 at noon, 48 with more sunshine, so decreasing clouds and decreasing wind over the course of the day today, and then gradually warming up. Should be into the mid-50s again by Friday and Saturday. Aaron?
Happening today, Governor Jim Pillen plans to bring Turning Point USA to every high school in Nebraska. The organization says Pillen plans to announce a partnership to launch clubs in the state. The announcement is set for 3 o'clock today.
It is now 7:28. We're back with another update for you in about 25 minutes. We'll see you then.